Hi guys, I'm just filming this video just in my car. I'm just coming to pick my child from school, but I have some few minutes before he comes out. So here's the thing. I wanted to talk about non-immigrant visa. In my previous video, I spoke about immigrant visa, which means coming to the United States to live here permanently. Non-immigrant visa, that means you're coming to the United States for a temporary reason. It might be like a student or business, tourist, or even medical treatment. Now, the reason why I like talking about non-immigrant visa is because it's a very exciting, complex kind of a visa, according to my opinion. And the reason for that, I'm comparing it with immigrant visa. Immigrant visa is straightforward. You're coming to the United States to live here. Either you've won lottery or you're coming because your spouse is here, you're married to a US citizen and that kind of stuff, or family. But for non-immigrant visa, the reason why it's very complex, or it's not really very complex, but it's somehow different as far as complexity is concerned, compared to immigrant visa. Non-immigrant visa, it has so many, there are so many of them. There are so many non-immigrant visas. And that's why for me, it seemed a little complex, because the first time I was applying for a non-immigrant visa, I applied for the wrong visa. Or rather, when I went to the embassy of the United States, the questions they asked me, and because of cultural differences and language barrier and difference of understanding, the consular was in a hurry. It's only three minutes for them to ask you the questions, or less than 5 minutes, I would say. They did not understand what I was talking about. So they thought I applied for the wrong visa. Why? Because there are so many non-immigrant visas. But the most common non-immigrant visa is the tourist business visa. That's a B1, B2. B1, B2 is one of the most common. And that's where so many people go wrong, because they will apply for that visa, but the reason they are coming to the United States is different from business and tourism. So the first step to apply for non-immigrant visa is to know why you want to come to the United States, so you decide which visa, non-immigrant visa, you are going to apply for. And my advice is for you to do a little bit of research to understand what type of visa you will require. Of course, you're going to file what we call DS-160 form, which takes about 90 minutes. Once you fill that out, you fill all your information and that kind of stuff, then it takes you to the next step, is to book for an appointment of an interview. The form or filing for non-immigrant visa is $160 in most of the time. At least that's what I paid for. And that's the first step. The second step is to prepare for your interview, to look for a date that's available at the consular, at the embassy of the United States in the country that you live. It'll give you a calendar. Then you can look for whichever date you want that's open. And then you book for an interview. Once you go for that interview, please, this is my advice for you. Make sure you absolutely are prepared to answer some questions at the interview. It's a complex thing sometimes when you think about it, because it's very emotionally and physically draining somehow. It's very draining, especially because most people really want to visit the United States, and you don't want to be denied. As a human being, you don't want that rejection of, no, we are not going to let you come to the United States. Maybe you work in a company that has a conference in the United States, and you've heard of the United States, you've seen United States in movies, and you've read about the United States, and you're so excited. I just want to see this country that everyone's talk about. I want to see this superpower country. And so the thought of being denied entry, it's somehow discouraging. So the best thing is to prepare well for the interview. And I'll give you some of the ideas that I have for you to prepare. First of all, get ready for the interview and know exact reason why you want to come to the United States. And please do not lie. Just be genuine, be real. But the most other important thing is to show and to prove that you'll be able to come back to your home country after your business in the United States. The consular at the Embassy of the United States is an employee of the United States. They have a supervisor who may kind of review their work later and maybe see the reason why they gave so-and-so the visa, they approved so-and-so, they denied so-and-so. I'm just assuming, but I believe that probably that's what happens. And so they need to prove that they gave you the visa to the United States genuinely, like you proved your case. They do not know you. They absolutely do not know you. So they depend on your answers to decide if they are going to give you the visa to the United States or not. So it's your responsibility as someone who wants to come to the United States, either to do business or tourist for a short period of time and then go back home. Is your responsibility to prove your case. Once you prove your case, then they will give you the opportunity to come and visit the United States of America. And it's a good feeling when you get here to understand and to see a new culture, a new country, new people, new way of doing things. It's a good experience. So prepare very well. Show that you have ties back in your country that will make you go back to your country after your short visit to the United States. I repeat that again because that's very important. You have to show and prove and show some ties that are stronger in your home country than in the United States. For example, if you are married to a US citizen, this is weird. If you are married to a US citizen, your ties are more in the United States than in your home country sometimes when that happens. And I'm saying that because it happened to me one time. I'm married to a US citizen and I was applying for tourist visa. I did not have a green card. I didn't have citizenship. I did not have anything. And I was denied because my ties were more in the United States than in Kenya. So that showed that I would probably, there was a high probability of me not coming back home because my wife is a US citizen. And at that time, she was in the United States. So I hope this helped you. But if you have more questions about this, please ask me in the comments. Subscribe to this channel. I will continue providing you with additional information about all these things. And then I will talk about each type of non-immigrant visa. I've already talked about the general blanket, the general thing about non-immigrant visa. It's a visa that's just temporary to visit the United States, but there are so many of them. And in my next videos, I will start talking about each and every one of them and give you ideas on how to do interviews and that kind of stuff. Thank you so much for subscribing. I hope I'll see you next time. God bless you. It's time for me to pick my kids from school. Bye.